Disney Parks reached out to me and said, how much can you pack into your park day? I'm at Walt Disney World to find out. Challenge accepted. Hey Mam Fam, it's Molly and I am so excited about today's video. Disney challenged us to see how much we can pack into a park day, so I made the ultimate Disney bucket list of all kinds of iconic Disney World experiences, and we're gonna see how many we can realistically get done in one day. On the list, we've got iconic attractions, snacks, entertainment, shows, characters, all kinds of fun to see how much you can really do in a Disney day. I'm super excited to see how much we can get done. We'll be sharing the best tips and tricks along the way, so let's get to it. We got a long list. Before we get started, just want to give Disney a quick thank you for hosting us for this challenge. They provided us a room, some gift cards, and a few other things. However, the ideas, the information, the tips and tricks, that is all coming from me. And even when we are hosted on an event, you can be sure to know that we're going to be honest with our opinions and our information. Additionally, I don't have anything special like pre-booked lightning lanes or specialized transportation. I'll be using Disney transportation. I got up at 7 a.m. to book my lightning lanes just like anybody else would, so there's no special treatment as far as that goes. So anything I do today, any guest could realistically do in a day the same way I am. I stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter last night, which is a moderate resort themed to, you probably guessed it, New Orleans. It's a really cute resort. It's a really small resort, which makes it easy to get around. It's really pretty, and it does feel like you're walking down south somewhere along the bayou. I love this resort. We'll be back for sure for a resort tour video during our staycation series. However, I love staying on Disney property. It makes me feel like I'm a kid again, really truly on vacation. And because we were staying on property, I decided to luxuriate a little bit this morning, which probably sounds like the opposite of what I should be doing for a challenge, but because I can't park hop till 2 anyway, kind of luxuriated, slept in, got ready slowly, now headed to get breakfast, and then we're off to the parks. Item number 2, yeah, that's right, I said 2, because item number 1 happened very early this morning. Did you know Mickey can wake you up when you're staying at a Disney hotel? That's right. If you set a wake-up call when you're staying at a Disney World resort, it's Mickey that calls you on the phone. And it's like the cutest way to start your day. And you can't even be mad that you're waking up at 7 a.m. to book a lightning lane because Mickey Mouse is the one saying hello to you. So that was number 1 on the list today, was get a wake-up call for Mickey Mouse. But number 2 also has to do with Mickey. It is my firm belief that in order to have the best day at Walt Disney World possible, you have to start your day by eating something Mickey-shaped. Now, at most places, that of course means Mickey waffles, and I do love a Mickey waffle. I don't know what they do to it. They just make them better than any other waffle in the entire world. Actually, do you know what they do to the waffles? They're malted, like a malted milkshake that's in the batter, and that's what makes them so good. But when you're at Port Orleans French Quarter, there is a special, even more delectable way to start your day in a Mickey-shaped fashion. Gotta shake them up. Say hello to the iconic Mickey beignet. These are a Port Orleans staple. In fact, this is the only place in Walt Disney World that you can get the Mickey-shaped beignets. Over in Disneyland, you can get them right in New Orleans Square. But they are delectable. They come out warm and fresh and doughy, and they've got covered in powdered sugar. You can get them in 3. There's 3 of them in there, or 2 more now. You can get them in a set of 3 or 6. They also have specialty beignets that are like drizzled with chocolate. You can get sauces with them. That's included. You can choose from a raspberry or chocolate or caramel sauce. I don't personally go for the sauce. You can also do boozy beignets where they come with little pipettes of different liqueurs. Those aren't Mickey shapes though, because you can't mix alcohol and Disney characters. But for me, I just like the classics. They are one of my top 5 favorite Disney foods. They are probably tied with Ohana bread pudding for my favorite sweet in Disney. Perfect way to start the day. Whether you choose Mickey waffles, Mickey beignets, a Mickey premium ice cream bar, a Mickey's cookies and cream sandwich, a Mickey pretzel, Mickey Rice Krispie treat, whatever it is, eating something Mickey shaped, definitely on a Disney best day bucket list. Check that one off the list. Now it's time to go to the parks. Starting our park day here in Epcot, where we've got a couple of experiences to enjoy, including, for now at least, the newest ride in Walt Disney World. First ride of the day, and what a good one to start with. It's the newest ride in Walt Disney World. We are gonna check off Save the Galaxy on the Disney bucket list. This is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This coaster opened up in spring of last year, and it is a really fun, state-of-the-art technology Omni coaster featuring, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I've done videos extensively on this attraction and how to get on it because you can't wait in line. There's no standby line. It's either virtual queue or purchasing a fancy ride, as I call it, or an individual lightning lane, which is what I did this morning. Because I was a resort guest, I was able to purchase my fancy rides at 7 a.m. So I booked one for mid-morning here at Cosmic Rewind. And let's get to it. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind has a 42-inch height requirement. And if you haven't ridden it before, I do recommend trying for the virtual queue, which opens up at 7 a.m. from anywhere, 1 p.m. from inside the park. By doing the lightning lane, you do skip some very cool portions of the queue. However, if you have been on it before, or if you want to lock in a set time to ride the attraction, or you're not starting your day in Epcot, if you're hopping into Epcot, you're going to want to book the fancy ride. I paid $14 for it today, and I'm excited to get the day going with one of the best rides in the parks. If you want more info on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, either Easter eggs, cool details to look for, especially on my Universe of Energy people, there's a bunch of fun Easter eggs to the predecessor in here, as well as step-by-step on how to use Genie Plus and book a virtual queue. We've got videos for that for you. We'll link it. Check out either The Best Kept Secrets of Epcot's Attractions, Part 1, or my Ultimate Genie Guide. Those will help you out.
Greetings, Terrors. Bang. As such,
we're all toast. First it was cake, now there's toast. This plan is making me so hungry.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, check. What a fun attraction. I got September, which is my favorite song, an absolute must do. And now we're headed to ride another attraction and then feed again. Next up, gonna ride pretty much the last remnant of OG Epcot. When Epcot opened in 1982, the focus was edutainment. Education and entertainment put together. So all the pavilions really emphasize learning something, whether it be about space or under the sea or technology. And here at Spaceship Earth, the story was of communication, and it still is. So the next thing on our Disney bucket list, we're headed to thank the Phoenicians. Spaceship Earth is a family-friendly attraction, no height requirement, and this is the one inside Spaceship Earth, the giant golf ball icon here at Epcot. It typically doesn't get too long of line. However, sometimes on busy days in the mid-morning, it'll creep up because people walk into the park and they see a ride, so they just go ahead and hop in line. I'm using a lightning lane today because I purchased Genie Plus, so I might as well, but typically you don't need one here or at mini rides at Epcot. Spaceship Earth, check. Also, check bubblegum wall selfie. That's the exit right here at Spaceship Earth. It's one of the iconic Disney selfie walls. There's many places to take pictures around Walt Disney World, but there are these iconic selfie walls that people like to take pictures with, and the bubblegum wall is the big one here at Epcot. But we checked out 2 more things, and now we're headed to World Showcase, but I've got one more stop along the way. One of the ultimate, most important things to do when you're at Walt Disney World, and really this is a life lesson. One of the most important things to do when you attend an event or a party or someone's home is to thank the host. So I think it would be rude if we did this entire Disney bucket list and didn't say hi to Mickey Mouse. So I'm headed into the Imagination Pavilion now. Hello, inside the lobby of the Magic Eye Theater to see the Big Cheese himself. This is low-key one of my favorite places to meet a character because there's usually not too long of a line, as you can see. And 2, it's the only place to meet classic Mickey Mouse right now in his classic tuxedo look. If you go to Magic Kingdom, he's wearing his 50th celebration outfit right now. If you go to Animal Kingdom, he's got a safari outfit. And if you go to Hollywood Studios, he's Sorcerer Mickey. But if you want just classic Mickey, he's right here. He's a mouse of many apparels, and he does dart all over, changing frequently to meet everyone, but He reserves his classic looks for here at Epcot. How are you? You look so dapper. I like the classic look. You have so many clothes. This is a good one for you. Have you been busy at the festival? Have you tried some food? Yeah? There's some cheese. We have that in common. We love the cheese. Yeah. Can we take a picture with you? Awesome. Meet Mickey Mouse. Check. He is just the cutest. Oh my gosh, this is a bonus. This is a bonus on the list. We're adding it to the list post facto because there's ducklings. I love Disney ducks, but I didn't think they'd be out this early in the year. Oh my gosh. I want to scream. They're so cute. This is the best thing on the list. What I was going to say before I got distracted by just, oh my gosh, I'm distracted again from another angle. Look at them. Look at them. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. Loving a little bath time. All right, focus, Molly. What I was going to say next is we've got two things to check off in Epcot before we head on to our next park, and they are two of the most iconic things about Epcot. One, enjoy an Epcot festival, and two, eat or drink something in World Showcase. One of the best things about Epcot are the 4 festivals they host around the year. Right now, to kick off the year, you've got Festival of the Arts. It runs through February. Then starting in March through the beginning of the summer, you'll have the Flower and Garden Festival. Shortly after that, the Food and Wine Festival will kick off, which will run through the fall. And then around the holidays, you have Festival of the Holidays. So festivals are nearly a year-round experience here at Epcot, and it's one of my favorite things about coming to Epcot. There's always something new to try and eat every year. The parks look beautiful. So for our bucket list today, we are going to enjoy the Festival of the Arts. And the way I'm going to do that is by doing two of my favorite things at Festival of the Arts. My favorite thing at any festival is eating and drinking around all the outdoor kitchens. Here at Festival of the Arts, they theme all the food to being bright and colorful. There's a lot of unique flavors, really elevated food that you don't expect to see come out of a theme park food festival kitchen. And then my other favorite thing about Festival of the Arts are these little chalk characters that they hide all over World Showcase and a couple of other places. Like you might find Dante in Mexico, you might find the Aristocats in France. So for the bucket list today, I'm going to find one of the chalk characters and I'm going to eat or drink a festival item. I didn't have to go very far to find my chalk character. This is a new one this year and he is so cute. If you look at the upside down waterfall outside the Imagination Pavilion, look on the wall right there and you've actually got Mickey as well as one of the broomsticks who looks like he's catching the water from the jumping fountains up on level 2. Cute, super cute, fun thing to keep your eye open for. Wander around the countries and look for them. I think they're adorable. They're literally my favorite thing at the festival. For the snack half of this checkpoint, I have decided to return to Mexico. And I have picked up Huarache de Championes, and I'm so sorry, I'm sure that's pronounced horribly. But it's basically a chili and corn masa, kind of like a tostada on the bottom there. And then it's topped with pinto beans, oyster mushrooms, queso fresco, peas, and nopales. So I've heard from a lot of people that this is very, very delicious. You may remember in that video, we were not super in love with the carne asada from this booth. It had a lot of good flavor, but it was a little underwhelming. So I'm hoping this will kind of redeem the Mexico booth for this festival. Cheers. Yes. That would have made Molly's best of the fest. I like this much more than the carne asada. I think it's much more unique. I think it's much more flavorful. This is what I like in the Mexico booth. There's a little bit of crunch, but it's not super, super crunchy on the bottom. It's strong enough to hold up all the toppings though, but you can taste that good chili and corn and the tostada shell. Lots of that salty queso fresco, smooth and creamy beans on there, and then there's those nice kind of salty mushrooms. There's some onions. This is really, really flavorful and delicious. Not vegan, but is vegetarian. This would be on Molly's Best of the Fest, and we can officially check off attend a festival. Last thing on the Epcot list before we hop on out of here is eat or drink something around World Showcase. So on our way out, the Sexy Sax Jam Break. Drinking around the world has become somewhat of an Epcot rite of passage where you get drinks in all 11 countries. People love to eat around the world, getting snacks and goodies in all 11 countries. So obviously today I don't have time to stop in all 11 countries, but I am gonna pick up one of my favorite drinks in honor of this bucket list item. Some of my favorite eats and drinks around World Showcase include the beers here in Canada, which we're going to now. Spoiler alert, they've got some great beers, as well as that famous maple popcorn. The pub blends, particularly the snake bite in the United Kingdom, as well as the fish and chips in the UK. Basically anything from the bakery in France or the ice cream shop in France. People love those slushy drinks in France as well. Spice Road Table at Morocco is a very underrated tapas location. Alan loves some sake in Japan. In the American Adventure, love the Waka Bar with some of the frozen beverages, including a frozen mint julep. In Italy, of course, can't beat the pizza at Via Napoli, as well as the wine selection. Germany is, of course, known for incredible beers, as well as the classic bratwurst. China's got some great and underrated beers and snacks back in the gift shop. In Norway, people are big fans of the bakery and items like school bread there. I really like some of the beers there, including the Einstock, as well as the Carlsberg. And in Mexico, like France, you can't really go wrong. I personally love the empanadas as well as the margaritas. As promised, the Fin de Mal from Canada. So good. I feel like this one's a little underrated. I feel like Canada drinks in general are a little underrated, but I like the Moosehead Lager as well. It's kind of like a Blue Moon. It's definitely a wheat beer, a little bit stronger than like a classic ale or Pilsner, but one of my favorites. Obviously, eating and drinking around the world or attending an Epcot festival is more than just a one-stop shop like I'm doing today, but I just wanted to highlight these things. If you're coming to the festival, we did a whole video review you could check out. Alan and I also recently did Winter Picks Dinner in World Showcase, where we picked all classic items around the world, so you can check those out too for some more options. But eat or drink something in World Showcase? Check. And now we're done with Epcot. Bonus, I found another chalk character. If you look above the little waterfall on the rocks there, you can see Koda from Brother Bear. What an underrated movie and an underrated character. I love him. And just like that, we are checking off Park 1 and headed to Park number 2 via a very fun method of transportation. Here's the thing, friends, with the park hopping restrictions still being after 2 p.m., attempting to do 4 parks in one day is a challenge in of itself. But I feel like I want to do it today. I feel good about it. I'm gonna give you a little behind the scenes. I wrote a plan A and a plan B. Plan A only had 3 parks, plan B has all 4. I think we're trying for all 4, friends. I think we're gonna do it because going to all 4 parks in one day is a Disney bucket list, checklist of its own. So, we've got a couple hours to do that, to also see fireworks. Whew, we got a big day ahead. Next on my list, ride the Disney Skyliner. I personally love the Skyliner. I know some people are not so good with the heights, but I think it's really fun and it's an attraction in of itself. It's the newest way to get around Disney, and it connects Epcot at International Gateway near the Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, and Swan and Dolphin with Caribbean Beach and Hollywood Studios, as well as Pop Century and Art of Animation. It's a huge perk to staying at one of those resorts to get the easy access to 2 parks. But anybody can take it if they'd like to visit one of those resorts or between the 2 parks, Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So that's where we're headed next. Ride the Skyliner, check, and we've made it to Disney's Hollywood Studios. The next thing on my list starts in about 8 minutes, so I'm hoping I can get in the park and down Sunset in time to do that. Otherwise, we'll have to go to Plan B. As of right now, you're not able to park hop until 2 p.m., although usually they'll let you in maybe a few minutes early. It's about 5 to 2, and mine went green as I walked in. I'm trying to get to my next activity on the list, see a Broadway-style show. The show I want to see starts at 2, and let's hope there's room for me. Cutting it close. Looks like with literally 2 minutes to spare, we're gonna make it into the theater for Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Beauty and the Beast live on stage is about a 25-30 minute stage show that, as the name would suggest, presents the story of Beauty and the Beast live on stage. It's one of many amazing stage shows available across Disney property. My favorite is over at Animal Kingdom. It's Festival of the Lion King. But also here at Hollywood Studios, you've got the Frozen Sing-Along, you've got the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. At Magic Kingdom, you've got the Castle Stage Show, Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair. And then throughout all of the parks, you've got street entertainment, Streetmosphere as it's called, quick performances, characters, entertainment to dazzle you. But the live entertainment, the Broadway-style entertainment, is one of my favorite things at Disney, and it, of course, had to go on the list. Ooh, show starting.
And lost all hope, for who could ever learn to love? Bonjour! 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 And the lights that glowing will help you in the going. would thank great and dark ones. And it's looking back to those he ever gave. He was used on as tall as a mountain. We were blessed to be sure and he sees.
No. No, please. Please don't leave me.
I do love the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show. I'm so excited the full cast is back. Of course, when it first came back after the closure, it had some modifications for health and safety. And this was my first time seeing it with the full cast, so they had some of my favorite kind of side characters back, like the Sunday and the Be Our Guest number, as well as the off to the side drama of the gentleman not wanting to join the mob in the mob song. I loved it. Plus, I cry every time I see that, like I've never seen Beauty and the Beast live on stage or the movie Beauty and the Beast before. But I love Disney Entertainment, what can I say? See a Broadway show, check. Now, again, my favorite festival is The Lion King, but there's not enough time to get over there and do that and the other things I'm thinking to do at Animal Kingdom that are also iconic. But for me, Disney Entertainment is one of the things I love the most, whether it be a production like Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Streetmosphere like Drummers in Africa, or a full-scale production like a Festival Fantasy Parade or Fantasmic. Can't beat it, but now it's time to go to the galaxy far, far away. I made it to a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away to check off the next thing on our list, the most popular ride in all of Walt Disney World, Rise of the Resistance.
Hold on, we'll miss someone.
Thank you. Rise of the Resistance is a fancy ride, meaning if you want to skip the line, you're going to have to pay an individual cost. As a quick genie reminder, as far as fancy rides go, resort guests can book them at 7 a.m. Non-resort guests can book them at the time that park opens. This ride is so popular it often sells out or mostly sells out by the time non-resort guests get the chance to purchase it. Also with fancy rides, unlike Genie Plus, you can select which time you'd like to go based on availability. Because I was a resort guest this morning, I was able to book this one at 7 a.m. and I picked a time shortly after that park hopping threshold, and it worked out pretty well so far with our schedule. This attraction has a 40-inch height requirement, and it is, like I said, the most popular ride in Walt Disney World for good reason. Multiple ride systems, live actors, stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, Rey, battle between the First Order and the Resistance. It is unlike anything else you'll experience, and it's of course on our Disney bucket list.
This is Black Leader. I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. Well, no time to waste. Let's get you on your way to the General.
Black Leader, we're picking up an unusual signal.
Hey, what do you got?
There appear to be a number of small craft heading our way. Stand back from those doors.
I got a bad feeling about this. It simply does not get better than that. If there's one ride on your Disney World bucket list, it should be that one. I'm not even a diehard Star Wars person, and I get off that ride every time. Like, I'm gonna go binge the entire saga. I'm gonna go watch all 9, plus all the offshoot movies, plus The Mandalorian. Like, I'm like in it when I get off that attraction. Unbelievable. A big check off the list, Battle of the First Order. Obviously, there are many more fun things to do here in Galaxy's Edge. You can make a lightsaber or a droid, pilot the Millennium Falcon, go to Oga's Cantina. But we're doing like a sampler platter version of the parks today with this bucket list. Just hitting a bunch of the high notes and sampling as much as we can. So like, we had our mozzarella stick, and now we're headed to a baked potato skin in Toy Story Land. You get it. Made it into Toy Story Land for our next item, shrink down to the size of a toy in Andy's backyard. Simply by being in this land, we're checking that off, but of course we're gonna ride an attraction, and I figure which better one than the OG Toy Story Mania. This is that family-friendly shooter game that takes you into carnival games with all of your favorite Toy Story characters. Buzz, Woody, the dinosaurs, Slinky Dog, my guest Jessie, if you enjoy her. And it's time for some rootin' tootin' shootin'. Ooh, a little bonus. I hear the Green Army men coming down. I'm so glad they're back. They were gone for a long time after the parks reopened, and they just bring this land to life, and they're so fun. They march through and they do a little standstill down by Alien Swirling Sauces. They'll recruit people to join the Army Men, but I just love them. Slinky Dog Dash is definitely the more popular ride in this land at this point, and I do think that's a really fun attraction, especially at night. But if I'm being honest, Toy Story Mania is still my favorite ride in this land. It's probably because of the re-rideability. The more you ride, the better you get, and it's always fun to try and get a new score or bet your friends and family to see who's going to win the game. And it's just a classic. I remember riding this one a lot growing up. This used to be the hot ticket. Shout out in the comments if you remember people running to this one to get paper fast passes, and they'd be gone for the whole day in like 30 minutes. So I have a lot of nostalgia for this attraction. I think it's just a grade A attraction that's held up over the years, and I love competing against, especially Alan and Max on this one. Between you and me, here's a couple pro tips to make sure that you beat your friends and family next time you play. In the first room, you're going to be tossing eggs with ham on a farm. If you can hit the rat that runs up the side of the barn, it'll flip the barn open, and there will be a bunch of animals in there that are worth a bunch of points. In the balloon toss with the dinosaurs, with the darts, you're going to want to hit the squiggly ones coming out of the volcano. If you can hit all of them, it will make the volcano erupt, and a bunch of high point targets will come out. With the Green Army Men, they're going to throw plates up on both sides. You're going to have to do teamwork on this one, because if you can hit both of them with your partner simultaneously, it'll spin out a cannon will spit out, and it'll shoot a bunch of high scoring plates at you. In the rings with Buzz Lightyear, there's a couple up off on the sides that are worth 2,000 and 5,000 points. Try and ring those. Also try and ring all the aliens on the center rocket ship, and if you can get all of them down at the same time, a monster will open and you can throw him into his mouth, and it's worth a bunch. And in the very final game, when you have a target in front of yours, don't aim at your targets, turn and aim at your partner's target, because working together is going to up the points faster and faster. So you're going to give them more points, but you're also going to give you more points. But also, don't tell anyone I told you all these secrets so that you can win next time. Shrink down to the size of a toy, check also. I'm in the gift shop here, and I've just found the cutest thing ever. And I'm like, do I need this? No, right? Just look. They have made puppets of the Woody's Roundup characters, and this is the Bullseye one. So he's black and white in this little TV set, and I'm obsessed with him. And he comes in this cute little box. There's also a Woody. Oh my gosh. And a Jessie, but I'm not worried about that one. I'm obsessed with this. It's $50, which is not inexpensive, and I don't want to carry it around. But I might need that Bullseye on my shelf in my office at some point. Buy a souvenir is on the list today, but truly, I don't want to carry him around. That's like the number one thing stopping me from buying a black and white Bullseye puppet right now. While exiting Toy Story Mania, I checked off another thing on the list, which was take my Hollywood Studios selfie with an iconic wall. There's two walls as you're leaving Toy Story Mania right across from each other. There's the checkerboard wall and the popsicle stick wall. Both are very good for selfies. I opted for the popsicle stick wall today because I thought the colors matched my outfit better, but they're both very, very cute. Seeing some peekings out from Woody's Roundup Rodeo BBQ, which is the full-service restaurant coming to this land, TBD on a date, but I'm eager to check it out. I think it'll be very cute since it's in this land. But with that, we are done with Hollywood Studios, and the race is on to get to Animal Kingdom. I'm officially going for it. I'm going for all four parks, and I've got several things on the list of Animal Kingdom, and then got to get to Magic Kingdom in time for fireworks. So pedal to the metal. It's like the Joffrey's Coffee Gods knew that I was kicking it into high gear for the next two parks, and there was like 2 people in line at the Joffrey's right there. So I got a black shaky Jamaican, my favorite cold brew ever. An unofficial addition to the list. Drink a shaky Jamaican. If you're not familiar with the Shaky Jamaican, it's technically called a Shaken Jamaican, and it's one of Joffrey's signature cold brews. You can get it at any of the Joffrey's carts around the parks or at Disney Springs. And it's a cold brew that's got like some coconut and caramel, and it's really, really delicious. I drink it black, but it's also great with a little splash of milk. And it's one of my favorite coffees ever, and I drink like 3 or 4 a week. It's a problem. With our coffee in tow, we head out of the park and we are headed to the bus stop to head to Disney's Animal Kingdom. I am hoping to get there in time to get on safaris, but we're gonna be cutting it close. Now, Disney does provide transportation in between all of the parks. If you don't have a car, you don't want to deal with moving your car from parking lot to parking lot. There is the Skyliner or a boat between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You can also technically walk. It's about a 20-minute walk or so. Between Epcot and Magic Kingdom, there is the monorail. And then to get between any other combo of parks, you're gonna take a Disney bus. One thing worth noting though is there are no longer buses between the parks and Disney Springs. So if you wanna go to Disney Springs using Disney transportation, you're gonna have to go to a resort and then take their bus. But honestly, unless you're starting at that resort, it could take a really long time to do that. So I recommend getting a minivan or an Uber to do so, which is an extra cost, but it'll save you a lot of time. After about a 10-minute wait at the bus stop at Hollywood Studios, the bus showed up and I've made it to Animal Kingdom, and I am walking as fast as my legs will carry me because the next item on my list is go on a safari. And while Animal Kingdom doesn't close until 7, Kilimanjaro Safaris closes at 5, which is in 14 minutes. And it's pretty far back in the park. So let's hope we can make it. We have done it, friends, with like 5 minutes to spare. I'm walking up to Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Have a good safari.
Thank you. Phew. All right. Animal Kingdom is my favorite of the Walt Disney World parks, and this is one of my favorite attractions of all time. This is the flagship attraction of Animal Kingdom. It's that 20-25 minute safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve where you will see real animals. I'm talking lions, elephants, giraffes, rhinos, zebras. And I just think it's so fun because it's different every time. You never know what you're gonna see. My recommendation doing this ride is to either go early or late because you're most likely to get a more active safari. When it gets really, really hot, a lot of times the animals, especially headliners like the lions, will go where you can't see them because it's cooler. They have backstage areas or air-conditioned areas they can go. But if you go in the morning or last thing at night, you're more likely to see a bunch of creatures. A bonus going later in the evening is you might see one of my favorite animals, which is the hyena. Hyenas and African wild dogs flip-flop who's out for the guests to see. And it's usually the African wild dogs out in the morning and the hyenas come out in like the late afternoon. So I'm hoping to see a hyena today.
Reserve. I cannot promise we'll see them all, but we do tend to have pretty good luck. Awesome safari. Great view of the lions. Got up close and personal with some wildebeest, and the cheetahs were up. Got really close to some of those Ankoli cattle, and most importantly, the hyenas are out. On my way to our next items, but gonna go ahead and check off our selfie here at Animal Kingdom. There's several really great places to take selfies, several different iconic walls. There's the Mickey in Africa, there's the Moss Wall in Pandora, but my personal favorite is this sunset wall in between Discovery Island and Pandora. Reminds me of Lion King, which is my favorite Disney animated movie. So this is where our selfie will be. Headed into Pandora, the world of Avatar, for our next 2 items on the list. Of course, Pandora was brought to us by James Cameron and Joe Rohde, themed after the original film, although at this point the second film has come out and also broke a bunch of records. I still haven't seen it, I don't know what that says about me. Is it good? There are 2 attractions here in Pandora. We're doing neither. Have to make some tough decisions when doing the ultimate Disney bucket list day. But the most important thing to me in Pandora, the most impressive thing to me in Pandora is this right here. Just simply being in the land and admiring the floating mountains. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We are gonna ooh, we are gonna ah, and we are gonna stare at these beauties and just let our minds be boggled by Joe Rohde's genius. Is your mind boggled? My mind is boggled. Seriously, this is one of my most favorite things in the land, is just staring at the mountains, especially at night. There's just so much detail on them that I feel like everybody that comes in this land is like amazed by the mountains, but not everyone takes a second to like look at all the detail. There are vines, there are animals up there, there's nests. They're incredible. They're a feat of engineering, amazing. Of course, the headliner attraction in this land is Flight of Passage. It's an incredibly popular attraction, one of the most popular in all of Walt Disney World. Has well over an hour wait right now, and the park's only open for like an hour more. It's also a fancy ride, meaning it is an individual cost if you want to skip that line, and you can only do 2 fancy rides a day, which we've already done between Guardians and Rise of the Resistance. But if you are coming to Pandora, especially for the first time, Flight of Passage, definitely worth a ride. It's a 3D simulator, but it's unlike any simulator you've ever done. You're gonna fly on the back of a Banshee. It's lovely. But for me, the next thing on the list, this one's a little loosey-goosey, but it's eat your favorite food, which for me, cheeseburger pods. I love them. They're one of my all-time favorite Disney foods, and I just feel like everybody has their favorite Disney food. And maybe it's not something that's everybody's favorite. For me, I like cheeseburger pods. I like Kat Saka's Kettle and Galaxy's Edge. I like beignets, which we already checked off today. I like Ohana Newts. I like Viennapoli pizza. There's so many things that are like my favorite foods that I get really excited to eat when I'm at Walt Disney World. Even though I get to come a lot, I get really excited when I get to have my favorites. And I know everybody has that favorite. Maybe it's a classic like popcorn on Main Street. Maybe it's something a little bit more unique at your favorite restaurant. Whatever it is, eating your favorite food should absolutely be on your Disney bucket list. Just why I'm here in Pandora with my beloved cheeseburger pods. Got myself a kid's meal. It's like you shoved a Big Mac in a bao bun. Make sure to get the creamy herb. Very happy to check this one off. That may be the fastest I've ever eaten a cheeseburger pod, because as I sat down, I got the notification that our next spot is ready for us. We've got one more stop in Animal Kingdom. Gonna have to make it a quick one. And then we're dashing to Magic Kingdom, where we have several things on the list. So hopefully we can get it all done. And I bet you know where we're going next. Welcome, friends, to the Nomad Lounge. This is one of my favorite places in a theme park. It is just an oasis paradise where you can sit down, relax, have a really good craft cocktail, have a beer, have a mocktail, have some delicious bites, watch the character flotillas float by, and just feel like you're in a tropical treehouse away from the chaos of a theme park. And we are here to check off not one, not 2 things, but the first one is maybe the most important item on our list all day. Are you ready? Come closer. This is the secret to having the best day in Disney World possible. Luxuriate. That's right, luxuriate. Even on a day like today, where we are going to all 4 parks, running around, doing as much as we possibly can, you have to make time in your day to sit back and relax and enjoy the company of the people that you're with. Here, Nomad Lounge is one of my favorite places to do that. I also love getting a coffee and going back behind the Tree of Life. I like Brown Derby and Baseline over at Hollywood Studios. I enjoy Spice Road Table or maybe exploring some of the pavilions over at Epcot. When I'm doing a full Magic Kingdom day, I actually like to leave Magic Kingdom and go to one of the monorail resorts, probably the Contemporary or the Grand, and get something to eat or drink there. But people run around Disney, and I understand you want to do a lot. There is so much to do, but just taking a minute to sit back, relax, bake in a resort day, bake in a Springs day, do what you need to do to enjoy yourself too and recharge and refresh. So luxuriate is what we're checking off right here. We're also checking off drinking a custom beer. One of my favorite things in the world at a theme park is when they have custom beer that you can't get anywhere else. This right here is called the Kungaloosh Ale. It's brewed specifically for Disney World. If anyone remembers the old Adventurers Club at Pleasure Island, you get where that name came from. You can get it here at Nomad Lounge, obviously. You can get it at the bars at Asia and Africa. You can get it at Skipper Canteen and Magic Kingdom. But it's a nice, dark, African spiced ale, and it's got some cinnamon notes to it. delicious. It's a little bit darker than I normally enjoy. It reminds me of some of the beers over at Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but I just love the idea that you can drink something that you can't get anywhere else in a theme park. Also in this park over in Pandora, they've got 2 signature beers you can't get anywhere else. There's also several signature beers in Galaxy's Edge. And for me, it's just something fun and unique. Again, you can't do it anywhere else, so might as well. When in the jungle, I guess, do as they drink in the jungle. Pretty sure that's the saying. Headed out of Animal Kingdom as a bonus. I'm adding it to the list because it wasn't on the plan, but sometimes the most magical things, Disney World, are things that aren't on your plan. I got to see the Tree of Life Awakenings. These are the short little projection shows on the Tree of Life at night, and it was my favorite one. It's a musical retelling of Lion King. So beautiful. The projections are really cool. And now we're off to the kingdom. The other kingdom. The bus pulled away as I was walking up, so.
A few moments later.
Just walked into Magic Kingdom, which means I can check off go to all 4 parks in one day. There's about 45 minutes till fireworks, and I'm trying to check off 1, maybe 2 more things before that. I can also officially check off ride a Disney bus. Even though I've already done it 3 times today, I failed to mention that I'm checking it off. So we'll officially check it off. I know the bus isn't as iconic or noteworthy to some as the Skyliner or the monorail, but to me, it's still fun, and it really feels like you're on a Disney vacation when you're on a Disney bus. Probably because my family growing up a lot of the time stayed at Pop Century, and riding the Disney bus is how I got to the park. So there's a nostalgia factor for me with the bus. Maybe I'm alone, but maybe you love a Disney bus. But I think we can all agree that we love a night stroll down Main Street, USA. It's just so pretty when it's all lit up. Magic Kingdom at night is such a vibe. I love it here. Now it is already getting very crowded around the hub for fireworks. And if you really wanted the perfect spot for fireworks, especially once Happily Ever After comes back, I'd recommend getting there maybe 30 or so minutes beforehand. We are making a bold choice and trying to knock out a few more things prior to, but I walked into the park today with 4 lightning lanes ready to go. Basically, I've been stacking them all day long, and then I also at one point was able to book a few as I was going through the other parks. If you watch that 2023 Genie video, it explains stacking, how to maximize using the system so that you too can walk into a park with 4 ready to go, as long as you're okay going in the evening time. First up on my list at Magic Kingdom, sail the 7 seas. Avast mateys, it's time to go to David Jones' locker. Alan and Max say my pirate accent's very bad, but I think they're wrong. Anyway, Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite ride at the Magic Kingdom. It's a classic, it's an icon. In my opinion, it's a perfect Disney attraction, so of course, it's on the ultimate Disney day list. Ooh, it's only a 10-minute wait. I did get a lightning lane for it though, and I'm gonna use that because I think they'll prioritize lightning lane anyway, but good to know, low wait right now. Thank you. There's so much history and backstory on this attraction too. It was the last attraction that Walt Disney personally had a hand in creating, the Disneyland version. That's another reason I love it so much. And if you like Disney history and fun facts and such, we've done 2 videos on the best kept secrets of Magic Kingdom's attractions. So we've covered lots and lots of attractions here with all kinds of fun details, Easter eggs, backstories, Imagineering history. So check those out if you're into that stuff too. Pirates of the Caribbean, check. Also, the Tiki God smiled upon me and there was like no wait at Aloha Isle. So I also went ahead and grabbed my Dole Whip. If there's one iconic snack in Walt Disney World, it's the Dole Whip. Now the pineapple one is the most famous, the OG, the original, my personal favorite, the coconut. It's so creamy and dreamy and delicious. And now I've got about 7 minutes before fireworks. So headed back to Main Street, hoping to get a good spot. don't care what show it is. When Tinkerbell takes flight, this is the result. Disney Enchantment is leaving as soon as the 50th wraps up at the beginning of April, and then Happily Ever After is coming back new and improved, which I know a lot of people are very excited about. Right now, I am trying to get away from the crowd and over to Liberty Square because we got more things to check off our list. Park's not closed. Two things. One, at this time of night, it is more important than ever to listen to the cast members. They have this down to a science. There's a reason they're directing you certain ways. You might think you know better or have a different plan than the cast members, but trust me, being parade access control is a very tough job. So just go with the flow and whatever they tell you to do. And second of all, if you are able to stay in the park after the fireworks, going home right after the fireworks is going to be not the most fun thing you can do. It's going to be very long lines over at the monorail and the ferry boat for the buses. The parking lot's going to be crowded. If you can stick around in the park and do some shopping or a few more rides, you'll be leaving at a much easier time. Made it through the crowd and about to head into our next attraction, the Haunted Mansion. If there's one attraction in the Disney parks that has a cult following, it's this one. So of course it had to go on the ultimate Disney bucket list. Haunted Mansion is an opening day ride here. It has no height requirement. It's a Disney classic. It's an icon. It's a legend. There's so much lore and backstory. It's a fan favorite, an absolute must-do. I'm obviously using the Lightning Lane right now, but the regular wait is only 25 minutes, which is another good reason to stay after the park has fireworks, because you can usually get lower waits at some attractions. Haunted Mansion is a great one to use the Lightning Lane on because of how popular it is. However, the wait doesn't get quite as long as thanks to just Peter Pan's Flight, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Jungle Cruise. So it's kind of like a tier 2 as far as the waits go. It's just a smell in Haunted Mansion. It's like ghosts and bodies, but it smells great. Haunted Mansion check. I'm in line right outside the Tangled bathrooms to get one of the most fun magic shots that you can only get at night right here. If you're unfamiliar, magic shots are a variety of photographs that can be taken by the Disney PhotoPass cast members, and they either have different props or effects, or they may digitally add in a character or something cute will pop up. They're really fun, and if you already have Memory Maker or you have an annual pass that you've added them to, they're all included. So make sure you always ask the PhotoPass cast members when you're getting pictures if they have any magic shots. And this one right here outside the bathrooms can get a really long line, but luckily it's only about 10 parties deep right now, so it shouldn't take too long. Magic shot complete. I just love that one. I think it's so pretty. I love the At Last I See the Light number in Tangled, so that's exciting. And now we are on to another attraction, one of the most iconic, one of the most beloved, one of the longest lines, but luckily we have a Lightning Lane. It's time to sail over London with PETA. Peter Pan's Flight remains the most popular Fantasyland attraction in the Magic Kingdom. It's a very sweet, quintessential, iconic Disney classic where you board a flying pirate ship, sail over London, and then it's off to Neverland. There's about 15 minutes left of park time. I've got a few more things on the list, including one more ride, but we sailed over Neverland, check that off, and we can also check off our Magic Kingdom selfie. Originally, I was gonna do the Purple Wall, which is probably the most famous place to take a selfie in the Magic Kingdom, but because it's not crowded right now, it's the end of the night, I actually got to take one with the Neverland map, which is this really cool painted on feature that they added not too long ago in the Peter Pan standby queue. Because that's such a popular ride, there's normally people in the way and you can't take a picture with it, so. Magic Kingdom selfie check, and we are off to Frontierland. Just cashed my last Lightning Lane of the night in here at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. because the last ride feature on the bucket list tonight, conquer one of the Magic Kingdom mountains. Now there are 3 Magic Kingdom mountains: Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I love them all, but I particularly love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in the evening time. And so since I knew this is when I'd be at Magic Kingdom, I made that my choice. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has a 40-inch height requirement. And I am curious to see what happens with the queue over here when Splash Mountain is closed. I think it's gonna be really long, is my prediction. Splash Mountain, by the time you're seeing this, is closed forever here in Magic Kingdom. It's being refurbished to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which I'm very excited about, but I do think that will impact the queue here, at least until Tron opens. It's worth noting as I'm getting on my last ride of the night that I haven't waited in line for a single thing using Genie Plus and Fancy Rides. I didn't even rope drop and I've been able to do all this stuff, so I know Genie Plus is very complicated and there's lots of things and nuances to remember, but it really can be a helpful tool if you use it the correct way, use that modify feature, which I'm loving, and we've been able to do a lot today. Oh wow, do I love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is so fun at night with the lights off, the sun down, you know, nighttime. So at this point, I've done 32 things on my list. And when I made my list, I put 35 things on it. And I was like, that's ridiculous, even for you. But I'm only 3 away. None of them require a park to be open, but there is still a time crunch under an hour. Can I do it? Yeek. We're gonna find out. The 3 remaining items are buy a souvenir, ride the monorail, and drink something with a glow cube in it. So, first stop, the Emporium. Even though the park is officially closed, the main stores tend to stay open so that you can shop on your way out. I have my eye on a new pair of ears, shocking, and I'm hoping they have them. So that will check off my buy a souvenir or buy a collectible. I was gonna buy a mug or ears or something that I collect, and now I'm just hoping they have the ears I like. Let's see, not those, not those, not those. Here we go. They have this like beaded bow. It's part of this kind of retro set, but I'm really picky. I'll put them back, I promise. And I wanna find a perfect pair because I'm very picky when it comes to my ears. That bow's too small. That ear's not round enough. This one has like glue. This might be the pair. No, that one has some glue too. This pair looks pretty good. Okay. Step 1, check. Buy a souvenir. I did mobile checkout as I was walking through the Emporium. By the time I got to where you scan your barcode, I was all checked out. It was way faster than waiting in a line. Highly recommend. Now I'm leaving the park with thousands of my closest friends and just hoping that the resort monorail line isn't too long because I'm gonna take it to the Contemporary where I need to get to a lounge by 11 p.m. to check off the final item. It took about 3 monorails, but I got on the monorail. I've made it to the Contemporary. Hey girl, to the 5-legged goat bonus, hello. And now I am scooting my way down to the Steakhouse 71 Lounge to get something with a glow cube in it. It's 10:37. Some places do last call a little bit before they close. It closes at 11, so I'm hoping it's not already happened. Okay, I've got bad news and I've got good news. The bad news is Steakhouse 71 Lounge does not have on their menu the like classic Disney glow cube drinks. The good news is Mark the bartender made dreams come true by making me an old fashioned with a glow cube. I can't think of a more Molly way to end this challenge. Cheers. Disney loves a glow cube. I love a glow cube. What a fun way to end this very, very fun day. If there's anything I've learned today, it's that you can do anything you set your mind to. Like they say in Fantasmic, dreams are make-believe, but could they all come true? Yes, if your dream is to do 35 things in Walt Disney World in one day. Made it safely back to Port Orleans French Quarter where we started this morning. I can't believe we did it, but I did every single thing, 35 things on my ultimate Disney day checklist. What a day it's been. I had so much fun today. And what I really loved about today was even though I was running around checking off everything on the list, I didn't feel super rushed. I didn't rope drop. I had time to luxuriate over snacks and drinks. I enjoyed my time on the Disney transportation. I saw a show. I enjoyed the fireworks. I had plenty of time to do everything I wanted today. So hopefully this goes to show just how much you can do in a Disney day. Now, obviously a day like today is not for everyone. Some people just want to tackle one park at a time, one evening at a time. But if you do want to pack as much as you can into your Disney days, hopefully this was helpful. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on social media. Let us know what other kinds of content you want to see. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Bye.